Hello there, Aries. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of November 30th through December the 6th. On Monday, what you have coming up is you have the Seven of Coins, Aries. That's a very good card to have come up. That is talking about that you have some kind of harvest coming in. So there's something that you've started, some kind of seed that you've planted, something that you began with the anticipation that at some point there would be a payoff that would come back to you from this thing that you started. And so Monday, what's coming in is you are starting to receive that payoff from whatever it was that you began previously. Okay. Now Tuesday, you have the Judgment card coming up in reverse. And what I'm hearing is free feeling fun. So in other words, maybe where you normally do have a very responsible-ish attitude about things, and you might think twice about doing something if you have chores to do or homework to finish or whatever. I feel like you kind of take a little bit of those bindings off of you sometime on Tuesday. Feels like Tuesday evening for most of you. And just go out and just enjoy yourself and just relax and give yourself permission to just have some fun. So that's a very cool card to have come up for you on Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, we have the Eight of Cups showing up in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse. Isn't that ironic that it would come in the day after you're having fun? Because basically this means you're going back into a situation that you had walked away from, and you had walked away from because it was depleting your energy and you weren't getting energy back in return to keep you sustained. And so because it was an uneven situation, you decided to walk away from it and find something that would be more even. Well, now on Wednesday, you're walking back into this situation. So hopefully there's been some kind of negotiation or something happened to where you don't feel like it's going to be as uneven as before and you won't end up depleted. Hopefully. That's the hope, right? That's the hope. Thursday, what we have coming up is we have the Fool card. This is my all-time favorite card for those of you who have been watching me for a while. Upright, it is. Now, the Fool card talks to me about you beginning a new journey, and this is a leap of faith. In fact, I don't really like the name the Fool for this card. Some people interpret it a little differently, and it sounds very foolish. But I really think of this card more as the leap of faith card, and it's the leap of faith card because when I see it, that tells me that you're starting something new and you're following that gut feeling, that intuition that comes from that inner source. And as you follow that, it may or may not be logical. Usually it's not, which makes it kind of hard to justify up here when we're thinking through the situation. Makes it hard to tell our friends about and have them justify it with us. So they may or may not be on board depending how much they believe in going with their gut feelings. But I do see you following your gut feeling, following your intuition, following that inner knowing as you begin something on Thursday. And that is the beginning of the most fabulous type of journey that you can have. It's taking that leap of faith and saying, universe, I know you gave me this intuition, this gut feeling, this inner knowing for a reason, and I'm going to follow it. And by doing that, we honor the universe, we honor sacred spirit, we honor that source. And as we honor that source, then source goes, look at that. There's a human actually getting the picture. We got to back them up. Then source comes in, has your back, shows you where the next step is, shows you how you're getting from point A to point B. Here's the next little bit. Here's the next little bit. So as long as you can stay tuned into source, it's a fabulous, fabulous journey of wonder and amazement and thrills and excitement. So I'm very happy to see this coming up for you, Aries. Yay! Let's move on to Friday. Friday, you guys have the Six of Swords in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. Lifestyle change on Friday. Most of you Aries are going to be making some kind of lifestyle change. You know, we just made it through Thanksgiving. We've still got Christmas to go. Some of you are going to be going on crash diets in between the holidays. Whoa, that scale's got a little too high over Thanksgiving. Not eating anything, only water. Or it could be, you know, deciding not to smoke, could be deciding to get more exercise, eat gluten-free. What it is it's a lifestyle change that you're making on Friday, and this lifestyle change is something that improves either your quality of living right now or the length of life you expect to have. So it's a lifestyle change that improves your health overall. That's Friday, Aries. Saturday, Knight of Swords in reverse. This is a personality that you'll be interacting with on Saturday. This is also somebody that you want to avoid interacting with on Saturday. And the reason that I say that is because they are taking some swift and, I'm hearing two words, drastic and dramatic action on Saturday. And they're not exactly going the direction that they think they're going. So they're kind of misguided. Maybe they didn't get all the information before they decided to take action. I'm not sure what happened there, some kind of disconnect. But they're taking this action thinking that they're really standing up for something that they value, and what they're doing is actually not that at all. So you want to avoid them. You don't want to get involved in their little precociousness here, because if you do, guess what's going to happen later? This person's going to figure out, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. And then there's going to be lots of finger pointing and blaming to go around. So the further you can stay away from the situation, the further you get to stay away from the finger pointing and the blaming. So when you see this guy coming, get out of the way. That's all I can say. All right, so Sunday, Page of Swords in reverse, you are digging for information. You are being the detective. Something is not right. Somebody told you something that just does not sound right to you, and by golly, you're going to figure out what the real deal is. That's the feeling I'm pulling off of that card. There's a real determination about this digging for information, too. You're determined. You're going to find something. You're digging, and it's not going to go in vain. You will find something. Some of you will find stuff that will make you feel a little bit embarrassed that you were digging, maybe a lot embarrassed that you were digging. Some of you, though, will find some things that, let's just say they were bigger than you expected to find. So be prepared. If you're going to dig, if you're going to invade somebody's privacy and dig around for information when they're not trying to give you that information, be prepared that you might find something you aren't expecting. Some of you aren't going to find anything. And some of you are just going to find stuff that makes you embarrassed that you were digging. But those of you who find something, I feel like it's going to be more than you bargained for. All right, so that's all fun stuff. Wonderful week for you, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments, and the subscribes. Everyone have a fantastic week. I'll see you here next week. Peace out.